Hello, everybody. Welcome. Rosie Psychic Investigator. Hello, everybody. Welcome, Rosie Psychic Investigator. So, I hope you're doing well. It's Saturday, March 14th. It's been a little while since I last made a video. I got a new weird pillow. So funny. I had a table on the floor, like it's a table with little legs that I'm sitting in my bed right now because I don't like, long story, the desk. So I got this weird foam pillow that looks like a car seat. It's so strange. But anyways, I'm using it. I'm using it to make video now. So, but guys, there's so much to talk about, and for very various reasons, right, related to my family and all that, and other things, I haven't made a video. And I kind of avoided the news for a couple days, and I'm back, and of course, craziness is official. It's like we're actually living through this. It's unbelievable. But let's get started, okay? Let's get started. And let's look at what's the latest. What's going on with the whole Iran war situation and the different players. Okay, just an update. Okay? All right. All right, let's do the protection. I'd like to ask for protection, a beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I feel my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I'd like to ask that information come only from the highest sources, that it create the good and the good, and so it is. Okay, so the next question is, what is going on regarding the Iran war from Trump's perspective first? Okay. So, okay, so I see this image of Trump, and there's a street of homos, which by now you know what that is, right? And there's these, like, almost like what is the name of it? Like building blocks for little children. He's like, it shows me that he knows it's being blocked, and and I see that he actually knew that it was going to happen. The prices would go up, and he's happy about that because it helps Russia. But it's like he created the situation to benefit himself and his friends, and then he knew the prices were going to go up. But then I see that Iran is holding their positions. They're attacking, and he's just looking at it like, oh well, it's supposed to end by now, right? And he's not. It's like he gets it. He's not getting the sense that it's as if his everything in life were propaganda to him, were narratives, not reality. So the reality is that it's not going away, not in the way that he thought it would, or I don't know that he even thought that far. But does it make sense? He just did it for distraction. Bibi, it shows, of course, Bibi was like, talking on his shoulder, but he thought, oh, this is perfect because I can distract from the files. But now the situation is getting worse and worse. It is not going away. And then I see Bibi. It's like the situation where it's like total chaos, and Bibi's taking advantage of it to go forward. But it's like neither of them have a sense of like, it's like follow through or something, or reality. It shows me, it's a weird comparison, but it shows me an image of, for example, like if you were in a dressing room, you try on a dress, and you know how sometimes, I know many of you probably relate to this. You try on a dress that, let's say, looks good on your upper body, and like you get out of the dressing room only with that part, right? It's like under one angle things look good, but then you turn around, it looks good on your belly, it looks bad on your belly, or your butt looks whatever. But that's it. They act as if from one angle. They only care about one angle. And now you have to get out of the dressing room, and the dress looks a mess. And that's that. It's like from one angle, the picture looks great. It looks great. It's exactly what we wanted. Oh yeah. And then, but I see again that it's like they're messing with Iran, and they have a lot of power because of the geographical situation, and we know that, right? So, that's what's going on now. Okay, let's see. Let's see now. Let's go to the next part of this question. Okay. So, what is going on in the Iran war and Bibi? He's now invading Lebanon. I see this image of Bibi now that he has basically convinced Trump to keep pushing regarding Iran, sort of like as if he sees the situation in Iran as like he's now focused. How do I say this? Like he's turning around, and it's like, oh, they're dealing with it. And then he now focuses on Lebanon, which of course borders Israel. And there's been a lot of bombings in Lebanon, and the goal is to go past the Litani River. Now, the Litani River is a very important strategic river that was a source of. It happened also in the Lebanese Civil War, where Israel invaded Lebanon then as well. And it went. This is like a zone that you're not supposed to go past, but that's part of their territorial goals. Okay. But what I see is Bibi going in, and it does show me, I guess, the river could be the Litani River, and there's a lot of troops. But then, as they get very close to the Litani River, the plug is pulled, and it's as if they lose their arms, and they have to withdraw very quickly. Okay, so that's what I get, and I've gotten it before. I think that something happens that leads Bibi to have to withdraw. Now, okay. And then the next question is, what is this thing that would lead Bibi to withdraw? What is it? Very heavy bombs. I see this black. He's looking past them. He had a shock attack. Okay, and he is not prepared for the attack. And I see again the US military literally pulling the plug. Like imagine if it's an electric plug, but it's huge. They're pulling the plug. And it's saying they're running out of arms. Israel is, and they're hoping the US had, but the US doesn't have enough arms to sustain the war as is to give Israel, because I don't know exactly what the arms are, but they're the ones they need. Okay, are these. And then why okay, so why is this is the plug being pulled related to Trump? Yes. But I see that the military pulling the plug from Israel, but Trump like walked away very far. You know those Renaissance type paintings where you see a person looking very small relative to where you are located. That's what it looks like to me, that they are far away. Meaning the people pulling the plug. That's right. So Trump was left. He has his head down. There's handcuffs behind his back. And they have to pull the plug. I also see here that there are a lot more casualties than they are being reported. And it was a completely reckless choice. Right? I mean, we know that, right? So, all right, let me go to the next question. So, where is Bibi, and what will lead him to lose power? Because There's rumors, guys, online that he's dead. I don't think he's dead. And that anyway, that's it, that he's dead. Um, and that really I need to know what is what will lead him to lose power, because the timing is so frustrating when I ask, right, about timing. But I want to know because the image here of him having to walk away, right? This is what I saw from defeat. Let's see here. From having to, that's right, there's no more arms. There's no more arms than NSC. He's just like looking like this, and they have the army has to walk backwards and leave with their hands up because they ran out of arms. And I see this black, it shows me again this image of these black bombs being dropped, and it's maybe there's a big attack on Israel. I don't know exactly, but I see this, the whole the facade crumbles because he was doing a propaganda war, as Trump is, right? They're creating these narratives, they're not really holding up, such as the idea that the regime is going to fall, which is like, I'm sorry, it's not rooted in reality. Right. So again, I anybody who believes that, just look at a map. Okay, it's not so simple. And so what's going on now? What will lead him? I see again the reality is hitting, and they have to walk away. And he can't. The thing with Bibi, Trump is very similar. He never admits defeat, and there's never anything wrong with him. He always blames others. So it comes to the point where he'll never admit that he did anything wrong, and it's an embarrassment, and he is an embarrassment. So that's the situation. That's where we are. Okay. Okay. So wow. Wow. All right. So let's go to the next question. So are we close to the war ending? If so, how will this war end? I see this image of Trump yelling, screaming things that are not rooted in reality. And it's funny, it's not funny. I see him talking to Jared, the most clueless person, one of the most clueless and evil people in the world, right? And he's like, "Oh, don't worry, just keep going, President Trump. We're gonna be fine." So he listens to Jared, who manipulates him to do what Bibi wants. And then I see this image of the attacks continuing from Iran. And I see an image of him like with empty pockets, which is weird because he steals so much money. But I see that it's saying we run out of money to fund the war, this war. We don't have enough. And I see that Putin is like, yay, well done, because Trump has substantially weakened US firepower, right? And it's weird. I also see the guy, the CEO of Palantir also. Oh, and I see that Putin is like pointing at Palantir. Ha ha ha. We essentially might help take him down, which is weird, right? Maybe he reveals the truth about all of them, I guess, in the end. But anyway, I see the US being hit so hard. I mean, not inside, right? But in the Middle East. And there not being enough arms to counter what they're doing. And I see that Putin gave, again, we know that Putin, we talked about it before. Putin gave them information, I mean Iran, that is, information about the US, and they are hitting hard because they know where to hit. They've destroyed, right, the US, a lot of the radars. So the US also has to run. So I see that Trump is like yelling like a maniac because he's been a clown all this time. He does not care about true strategy or anything. He's just like, he was just hoping that if he yells and says random things, people are gonna just follow. It's not happening here. He has to walk away. And then I see the military has to stop it to save itself, right? From total carnage. because again, that's what we know, right? That's what we know. He is destroying the U.S. military on purpose. The U.S. is standing in general. Putin is delighted, but Putin is they're all in trouble, which is interesting. So, okay, maybe slightly different question. Okay, let me pause here. I'm gonna ask again because I have to ask this every time. It seems a little short, but I have to, my ticket is for the first, let's say the end of the first week of April to go to New York. So, is it still? I'm gonna ask from time to time. Is it still? What's going on right when I am coming back? I see that it's saying troops with their hands up. Guys, I'm getting also that I've said it before, there's American hostages. Okay, remember what happened in the 70s? Maybe something similar might happen. I see the US and Israel's gonna have to leave. And it's this humiliation thing, and Trump he's gone from the scene. And JD Vance doesn't he thinks he's gonna take over, but it's not gonna happen. So I have a question here. I've always seen again, I know I'm probably repeating myself, but I have to make sense of what I'm seeing here contextually. I have seen that it's the military to take Trump down, not necessarily the files themselves alone. So that's right, they have to pull the plug on him because he's killing Americans, right? He's killing Americans. And I see here he's being told, this is too risky for the truth, it's too risky. And he's like, well, that's their job. That's what they chose to do. Don't feel so bad for them. So he doesn't care at all. So, wow, okay. Okay, so then I go back to the time. Yeah, no, it just seems that this is like, see, Rosie, we're living through this like fake reality that is presenting, but it's not real what's happening. And notice how a lot of the administration officials are being like getting angry when truth is starting to come out, right? And I see the thing collapses because it's not true. There's a lot more damage than it's being shown. And the military has to get rid of him, even knowing that he's done all these treasonous things, knowing all of it. But ultimately, more troops are gonna die, right? If nothing's done. So that's where we are. Okay. No, and I was gonna ask the question here. So again, am I fantasizing, or is it really possible that he could be the devil's advocate, that he could be falling? No, it's saying that there's no way, because what he's doing is so destructive that he cannot go. It's something that destruction is really the only path, and that's what happened with the aged man in the Second World War, right? So it can't go on really for much longer, because destruction, there's an end to it, right? Somebody, do they want to sacrifice every American soldier? No, it's very obvious what's happening. So how is what's happening different from Vietnam? Is it going to get to that point where, he said there's going to be a draft? No, I see he's being kicked out. So, okay. All right. So that's it for now. I'm going to go to other subjects. Okay. All right. So thank you for watching.